Well, hello again, everyone. Welcome to the Rollins Reviews YouTube channel. Are you excited? I definitely am. How you doing? Be Sugar, Nuki, um, everyone in the comment section. Please do me a favor, hit that like button. All right. So, if you haven't seen, I shared a trailer with you yesterday. So our interview is next Sunday, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Bernadette Stannis, of course, Thelma of Good Times. So I've been fielding, answering so many comments. So many people are excited. So I thought that I would talk about the show Good Times. We know it is definitely an iconic show. And for those of us in my age group, when we were small children, we didn't have 200 channels. Okay. We had a few channels. We had three regular channels, and then we had two UHF. I think it was UHF. So, you know, there weren't a lot of shows on that had people that looked like us. So the few that there were, how you doing, Into the Bench? So the few that were, we just sort of, like, wow, it was exciting to us. So you tell me in the comment section, what are your thoughts? Did you enjoy the show? My partner, Chef Finest Wine, is in the comment section. So folks, hit the like button, share this video out, let a friend, neighbor, or foe know where to go when they want the latest news on celebrities that some of us just absolutely loved. How you doing, Tina? When we were kids, again, there weren't a lot of shows that had people that looked like us. So the few that did, we really sort of flocked to them, and they've all become cult classics. Good Times, What's Happening, Sanford and Son. There were so many others. How you doing, Spiky? So, um, just wanted to. I thought I would talk about the show Good Times, and this will sort of segue into our interview next Sunday, 4 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, I've already I was texting with Bernadette Stannis's husband yesterday, so we're all on. We're ready. Okay. So again, I'm going to give you some interesting facts that maybe you've heard along the way. Maybe you didn't know. When you saw different things going on with the show and you didn't know what was going on. Of course, none of us knew. That was prior to the internet, so we would see some things going on with some of the magazines of the time, Globe and Inquirer, Star, and some of the others. But finding out what was really going on behind the scenes, uh, now everything is coming out, okay, and information is everywhere, so that's a good thing. So I just thought I would look up a few facts about Good Times, something to sort of make give you a little laugh. Some of it, of course, if you remembered, if you were watching the show in the beginning, and then, of course, as it waned, okay, you saw some definite changes. So I just did a little research. Some I was already aware of, and then some I was like, wow, okay. Um, I don't know if you guys know this. How you doing, Charlotte? Welcome to the Rolling Reviews YouTube channel. I don't know if you know this. Mike Evans, the original Lionel on the Jeffersons, which is the one I always love. I never did like the second one. But his name was Mike Evans. He had a friend named Eric Monte. They actually came up with the idea of creating this show. For those of you who didn't know, because the only name we ever hear associated with this show is Norman Lear. All right, so just make sure you know that. Good Times. Now, depending on your age group, some of you may know some of these shows I'm getting ready to mention. So, Good Times was actually a spinoff of a show called Maude, and I still look at Maude to this day. B. Arthur, okay, my God, I love that show. I loved her as an actress. So it was a spinoff of Maude because on Maude, Florida Evans, of course, played by Esther Rolle, was their maid. Okay, so it was a spinoff show, and then Maude was a spinoff. I'm really going back, people. Maude was a spinoff from All in the Family. Okay, so that's how everything worked out. All right, so producers believe that Ralph Carter would be sort of a breakout the breakout star for the show. That's, of course, if you looked at the show, you know that's not what happened. We all know that it wound up being JJ, right? B Sugar. I still look at Maude on is it Antenna TV? Yeah, I think it's Antenna Me TV, one of those. I still look at that show. I love it. And so what happened, if you remember from the show, Michael was this little, they called him the militant midget, and JJ, of course, he was just always cracking jokes. So that didn't sit well with James Amos and Esther Roll. That's not, the direction that they wanted the show to go. Jimmy Walker, as his popularity increased, that really was the beginning of the end. James, John Amos and Esther Rowe, they wanted it to be how you doing, Patricia? A serious role. King Delight, how you doing? And they wanted, to show serious situations, but we all know, what happened. Jimmy Walker, how you doing, Sugar Daddy? Jimmy Walker, of course, dynamite and all these other sayings and just the silliness, that he exhibited on the show, and that did not sit well. How you doing, Janice? That did not sit well with, especially, of course, because John Amos, Esther Rowe, they were older, so there was a certain, they wanted to see African Americans portrayed a certain way, and then of course the show wasn't going. How you doing, King? It wasn't going that way. So John Amos was called a disruptive element. Now, those of you who still look at the show, who looked at the show, what happened to James? Type it in the comment section. Type it in the comment section, folks. I've seen every episode, I know, over 1,000 times. So Norman Lear, from my research, Norman Lear reached out to him one day and said, "You're considered a disruptive element," or sometimes we'll hear, how was he killed off, B Sugar? B Sugar's getting to it. So sometimes we'll hear, well, this actor, right, Sugar Daddy, this actor, this actress is hard or difficult to deal with, okay? So they pretty much just want people to just come in there, do as they're told, and not make any waves. And of course, James, I knew about James, being adamant that, I don't want the show going in that silly direction. I didn't know until I researched it, how adamantly, Esther Roll was fighting for that. The same thing he was fighting. Right, Sugar Daddy? That's exactly what happened. Excuse me. So the first episode of season 4, if we all remember, they were having a party, and because James supposedly or allegedly, he got this wonderful job, and they were all going to pack up and move out of the projects. And then she got the call. Then she got a telegram, I think. Right, Janice. Janice is bringing it back. The pipeline. James finally got a good, decent job. So they killed him off. She got the telegram. I'm sorry, your husband was killed. Right, she'll find this one. So that's how they killed him off. But then Esther Rowe was still there, but then she became disenchanted. She did not like the direction of the show. So, you have all these heads butting, and then you got to realize, okay, so now in its heyday, Good Times was, doing really well in the ratings. So John Amos and Esther Rowe were looking at the salaries of some of their white counterparts, and it was nowhere near what their white counterparts were making. So that was an issue as well. We remember Sanford and Son. If you remember when Fred left, he had a contract dispute. That was the same issue. Okay, right, B Sugar? You guys, yeah, I'm not the only one looking at the old shows. Okay, great. So again, Esther Roll became disenchanted. So think about all the episodes where you saw major changes taking place. There were things going on behind the scenes. How many of you remember? How you doing, KT? How many of you remember Janet Jackson? Oh my God, I was a small kid, right, Sugar Daddy? Lots of politics and money involved. Sugar Daddy, check your email. I sent you an email yesterday because I did my research for you on the East St. Louis riots. But I wanted to know if you wanted to come in the chat, or if you had family members, because you told me you had relatives who were actually involved, or descendants who were actually involved in that riot. So check your email, dear. Thank you. And so remember when Janet Jackson was on there? So when Janet Jackson came, this is what I found in my research. And it all came back to me because obviously I've seen all the episodes. You guys remember when remember when Janet Jackson came on the show? Okay, Florida was gone. She was sick of it. So then Walona sort of became the maternal person or influence on the show. And you do, yes, okay. Pat said she remembers Janet. Okay, I'm bringing back some old memories. How you doing, guy? So remember, her mother was abusing her, and so that's how Walona adopted her. Okay, we all remember that. Okay, so I did not realize. I found this out during my research. Janet Jackson didn't like that role. She said she was miserable the whole time she was on that show. So I was like, what? She said she was unhappy the entire time she was on that show. So again, you know some information, then you start doing a little research, and then you learn something else. So it's like, wow, who knew? I mean, she was just a cute little girl, and we all thought she's got it made. And then we know Jimmy Walker was a comedian prior to joining. How you doing? Lions Pride was a comedian prior to taking the role of JJ in Good Times. I found this out. So Bernadette Stannis and Ralph Carter, sort of those of you in my age group, if you remember Right On magazines, just type it in the comment section. So they sort of became teen idols, okay, of sorts. And again, now this was late 70s, okay, when the show ended, 79? So there weren't a lot of roles for African American. They were few and far in between. How you doing, Lola? Janice, KT, everyone. Stannis became a regular magazine cover girl. How many of you knew this? Jimmy Walker was friends with Jay Leno and David Letterman. Now, this is before they blew up. How many of you remember, excuse me, the episode with Jay Leno? Anyone remember that episode? If you do, type it in the comments section. No, Chef, she said she hated the entire time she was on the show. How you doing, Gina Thorne? I was like, oh my God, who knew? And so, yeah, I found that out in my research. So Jimmy Walker, this is before David Letterman. How you doing, K Will? Before David Letterman blew up, before excuse me, Jay Leno blew up. Jimmy Walker had Jay Leno come on the show. He had both of them writing, comedy for him. So he was giving them work. And then, of course, they blew up later on. They blew up. Okay. So, yeah. Okay. Lions Pride says, yeah, Jimmy, David J were great. Okay. So, so some of you know this already. Great. How you doing, Howard Ingram? Great. All of you who are in here now, don't miss it. Be there. Don't be square. Next Sunday, 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, myself and my partner, Chef Finest Wine, we will be here with Bernadette Stannis in the house. How you doing, Deborah? I'm glad everyone's here. Folks that are here, do me a favor. Hit that like button for me. All right? Okay, so, yeah, found all this out. If you remember the last season of the show, 1979, they were able to convince Esther Roll to come back. So they're thinking she's just going to, conform. She was still giving them a hard time. But by that time, folks, it was too late. Okay, because you remember James was gone. Florida was gone. Then when they brought her back for the last season, folks, once you lose your audience, it's like, it's over. So pretty much they brought her back. She did the last season and that was it. But yeah, please don't miss this historic interview. We all love Thelma of Good Times, okay? I'm so excited. So just keep that in mind. Good Times. I have a couple of questions to ask you. We'll play a little trivia game. There's a little trivia game online. And I just wanted to ask you guys a few fun questions. So let's see who's going to type it in. Some of these I've already given you. Okay, I'm going to read you one here. During the lunch money ripoff episode, you guys remember when that bully was beating Michael? Florida and James wondered why Michael was always so hungry after school. It turns out that he was giving his lunch money to a bully. What was the name of the bully? Anyone remember that? If you do, type it in the comment section. I'm trying to see who my true blue fans are of Good Times. Okay? If you remember that, type it in the comment section for me, folks. Okay? Give you 5 more seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Time's up. Let's see. All right, B Sugar, you got it. Eddie. Eddie was the answer. Oh my goodness. Some of these I've already given you questions to. All right, who remembers? Here's another question. In Florida, if Florida goes to school, what grade did we find out Florida dropped out when she was a teenager? You guys remember that episode? She was going to school and James was upset. And she had her books and she was studying, and then she started correcting him, telling him he needed to use the proper English. Anyone remember what grade that not Thelma, that Florida dropped out of school? Oh, Janice said 10th. Woo! Yes, Janice had it. Okay, who can answer this question? Good Times is set in what city? What city is Good Times set in? Gina Thorne got it. All right. Anyone remember? What city? Okay. Chicago, Chi-Town. All right, very good. All right. Who remembers the episode? In the first episode, how did the Evans family come up with $104.50 to pay their rent? What did they do? Who did what? I have to be careful so I don't give you the answer. Okay. Anyone remember what? I'll give you a hint. What did James do? And Florida was adamantly against it. Anyone remember? Okay, they did have a rent party one time, but what did James do? Because we all know Florida was always, the religious person, right? Janice, he had went out. That's right, playing some pool to raise the rent money. That's right. Oh, this is a good episode, folks. Listen to this. When James' friend Ernie Harris stays at the Evans home, what prized possession did Ernie take in order to pay back the loan shark? And this is one of my favorite episodes. Anyone remember that? And it really hurt. It really, really hurt. That's right, K. Will, that cushion shot. It really hurt Florida because, they were poor. They didn't have anything of value. That was the one thing that they had. Who remembers that? Anyone remember? Salt and pepper shakers. That's right. That's right, Sugar Daddy. All right. I'm not the only person that loves Good Times. Okay, let's see. Let me ask another question. Okay, some of these I have to go on. Anyone remember when Florida and Walona took their first trip to jail? Remember in Florida's protest when they found out the store was selling expired food? Oh my God, that's one of my top 2 favorite episodes. Everyone remember that? With that sorry excuse for a store manager, and he pretended like he was on their side, and then they heard him, saying, "I got rid of them." What were Florida and Walona arrested for? Anyone remember? I'll wait. Mr. Borgen, right, Sugar Daddy. Sugar Daddy even remembers the name of, yes, Borgen's Market. That's it. Oh my God. I could do this forever. I love this. All right. Mr. Borgen's Market. They were arrested street walking. Okay, who remembers this? Remember the episode when Michael was suspended from school? Why was Michael suspended from school? Now remember, I'll give you a hint. He was called the militant midget. Why was he suspended from school? And remember, they told not trespassing, Sugar Daddy. Try again, baby. Now we know he was on that show. He was young, but he was militant. And he you didn't call him boy. Not fighting, B Sugar. Try again. It has something to do with history. It does. All right. Okay, no one remembers? Remember, he called George Washington a racist. Okay, moderators, there's thank you, Sugar Daddy, for taking care of that. Okay, so remember, James was going to taking his belt off. He was going to beat him because he was refusing to change. The school wasn't going to let him come back. All right. What was Florida's best friend's name? Oh my God. She was known as the gossip of the projects. Gina said, dang. Right, Gina? Those bots, those trolls follow you everywhere. Jesus, get a life. All right. Who remembers what was Florida's best friend? Walona. You guys remember the city councilman? He called her everything but Walona. I love it. Okay, let's see. Oh, there's another one of an episode we just talked about. What did Florida buy at Morgan's Market that made the Evans family and Walona sick after consuming it? Who remembers that? Who remembers? What was it that they ate and that it made everybody sick? Anyone remember? I'll give you a hint. Florida caught a deal. They had a nice sale going, so she thought she would feed her family, right, Janice? The roast instead of roast beef, it was roast beast. All right, there you go. Who? Okay, who remembers this? Who was the only person in the family that did not get sick? Anyone remember that? Who was the only person in the family? Go ahead, Brian. I see your message. Who was the only person who did not get sick? Okay, there you go. Teron has it. Janice has it. Shit, JJ, remember he was laughing. Um, okay, I'm listening, Brian. Brian said, who was James's friend Monte? You mean who do you mean who was he what was he famous for before? Clarify for me, please, in the bench. Remember when they were going to move, the big move? The Evans family was finally leaving the Midwest. What state were they moving to? Who knows? Who remembers? Where James had the job and they were all packing up. That's right, Brian. That was Stymie from the Rascals. Exactly. Now we're really going back into the bench. Um, yeah, he did. He did work at a car wash. All right. Anyone remember when they got the job? When James got the job, where were they supposed to be moving to? Not Alaska, Janice. Try again. All right. Mississippi, into the bench. Good. Very good. Okay. What did JJ want to do with his life? What did he want to do with his life? Who remembers? What did you see him doing a lot? Thank you, Gina. What did you see him doing a lot of in the show? Anyone remember? Type it in the comment. Right. All of you are right. Artists. Very good. Remember the episode when JJ was arrested on his 18th birthday? Another one of my favorite episodes. What was he accused of doing? Why was he arrested? What was JJ arrested for on his 18th birthday? Very good, Janice. They accused him of robbing the liquor store. Very good. That's okay, Joyce. We're glad to have you. Okay, here's one of my favorite characters from the show. Ain't I sweet, sweet daddy? What was her name? One of our sweet daddy Williams's girlfriends. Huh? Remember JJ painted that painting of her? That ain't me. And she went off. That's one of my favorite episodes. Right, Sugar Daddy? It was mistaken identity. Okay, what was Sweet Daddy's girlfriend name? Ain't I sweet, sweet daddy? Yeah, she had a rough personality there. Oh, Gina, you don't remember? I'll give you a hint. It's a large city in the state of Georgia. Does that help? Anyone remember now? All right, 5 seconds. One, two, three, four, five. Savannah, into the bench. Into the bench. Thank you, B Sugar. Into the bench. Got it. All right. Let's go. I'm gonna keep. You want me to keep going? If you want to keep playing the trivia game, we can. Before we leave, don't worry. I'm still gonna do my drawings. Okay. Let's see. Savannah. Okay, who remembers this? If you want me to continue playing the trivia game, we will continue. If you want to end the live, we can do it right now. Type in the comment section, folks. What grade did James Evans have to drop out of school in order to support his family? I got you, Sugar Daddy. Yes, B Sugar, go ahead, dear. What grade did James Evans have to drop out of school in order to help his family? You're close, K Will. Very close. Very close. Janice, you're close. Okay. I see a lot of close stuff here. One more guess. Need 5 seconds. 2, 4, 5. 6. Okay, K Will, you got it. 6th grade. All right, all right. Okay, here's one, folks. After James was killed off, Florida remarried. She married the man that Michael was working for. What was his name? B Sugar, what did the neighbor cook for them that they would not eat because they thought, oh my God. B Sugar, that's what I was gonna ask. That's one of my favorite episodes. Ooh, I love that episode. Oh my God. Carl, that's it. That's it. You're right, K Will. B Sugar. Okay, so B Sugar got to it before I could. What did the neighbor cook for them that they would not eat because they thought it was? And I'll give you a hint. That's all I'll do. Thank you, VT Lions Pride. Thank you, dear. Dog food. Remember, they saw those those empty dog cans in her trash, and she didn't have a dog, so she brought that meatloaf. Oh my God, I love that episode. Okay, so B Sugar, I'm gonna have to go pull that up because I need to go look at that like as soon as I end this live. Oh my God. Let's see. Here's one of my. Okay, this is top two favorite episodes. Okay, Will, you remember she made that? JJ said, "The Lord is my German Shepherd" when they went to the dinner table, praying. Oh my God, that was too funny. Oh my God. Oh wow. So you guys remember that the 2-part episode, JJ's fiance. He and his prom date, Diane. Of course, that was a very young Debbie Allen, very young. Decided to run away to Indiana to elope. When their parents find out, they also uncover the secret that Diane is a drug addict. When they finally get in contact with JJ, what drug does James tell him she's on? Anyone remember? Think about, I'll give you a hint. Remember that JJ grabbed the wrong pocketbook, and that's how they were able to find everything out. What did they find in that pocket? What drug? Very good, Sugar Daddy. Heroin. All right. All right. You guys are great. Remember when JJ was shot? Remember Mad Dog, leader of the Satan Knight, shot JJ. What happened with him? Did he go to jail? Did he receive probation? What happened? Remember, James wanted to beat him up, but he didn't. Who remembers what happened to him? Anyone remember? Basically, K Will, they didn't do anything. That's why James wanted to beat him up. How you doing, Joy Chit Chat? He got exactly, Sugar Daddy. He got off. Anybody remember the episode Probate Right Into the Bench? All of you are correct. What happened to James's father? Remember the episode where because James had told everyone that his father was dead. So I can't say anymore. What happened? You guys remember that episode? Thank you, VT. I can do another one like this if you want me to. Just trying to get you guys ready for next Sunday. This is a teaser. Okay? This is the caveat. This is our segue. This is going to take us right into our interview with Miss Stannis. Okay, very good. End of the bench. Exactly. He was a merchant marine. He came back later. He got married. Okay, very good. Thank you, Lucinda. Glad you're here. Yeah, remember he abandoned his family. That was the reason that James just told everyone his father was dead. Okay. Okay, Joy Chit Chat. Oh, I'm glad you are enjoying it. All right, let's. You guys want some more questions? I can give you a couple more before I let you go. How about at least one more? Because it's Sunday and some of us are getting ready for work. I don't want to keep you too long. Okay. How about one more question? Also, in JJ's fiance, when the parents found out Diane was a drug addict, James told her father Fred if he was going to blame anyone, who did he need? Who did James tell him to blame? That'll be our last question, folks. What do you think? You guys remember the? Go ahead. Okay. End of the bench said, "Let's go shoot." Okay. Go ahead. What else? Remember when they called, they found a number in her pocketbook. They called and this little 10, 11-year-old showed up. Exactly. He said, blame the drug dealers. Exactly. I hope you guys enjoyed this live. I have. If you guys want to do more, trivia type things, fun things, so everyone's engaged, let me know. Tell me what you think. Now you know what time it is. It is time for us to do our drawings. If you are still here, just say you're here. Say you are here so I can make sure your name is on the spinning wheel. I don't know if you can see it or not. Thank you, B Sugar. Thank you, Okay, Janice is here. K Will is here. I think all of you are on here. BT, I need to. Okay, Chef is here. Thank you, Chef. That's okay. It's going to be fire next Sunday at 4:00 p.m. as well. Joyce is here. Who else is here? Teron Davis. Okay, Teron, I need to add your name. Let me add Teron. If you're here and you've never been here before, Gina Thorne, I need to add. Gina, no, you've won before, so you're good. All right. Anyone else? If you're here, Robert Fairley, how are you? Robert's here for the first time. Okay. All right. The wheel is spinning. You probably can't see it. Let's see. I need 3 winners. 3 winners. 3 winners. All right. Rock Just Living. I don't think is here. You have to be here to win. How you doing, Tracy C? All right. Thanks for coming over. Okay, we're doing our drawing now. Go back and check the replay. We did a little good times trivia and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Lion's Pride, are you still here? You're a winner. All right, I have 1 winner. I want 2 more winners here. There you go, Lion's Pride. All right, let's see. Keita is here. Let's see. I need 2 more winners, folks. I won't be. Joyce is a winner again. You're going on my taxes, Joyce. I need 1 more winner. Winner chicken dinner, as the great Mark Holmes would say. Let's get 1 more winner, folks. I need 1 more winner. Rosalind's not here. If I spin and it lands on a name and the person's not here, I just spin again. All right. Lola, are you here? Lola Cowboys, are you still here? Yes. All right. I have 3 winners. I feel good. Lion's Pride. And folks, this is just, I like to give away the little gifts because you could be anywhere on your Sunday afternoons, but you choose to spend it here with our community, our Rolynn's Reviews and Chef Fine His Wine community. And that means a lot because you could be doing anything else with your time. So I like to give you a little token of my appreciation. So you can go, a lot of you like Starbucks, you can go get you a cup of coffee. And maybe a roll, okay, or something like that, a biscuit or something, and something to drink. Thank you, Lucinda. So those are our winners. Folks, don't forget, tomorrow, this live chat, next Sunday, this live chat will be lit. You need to be here. Bernadette Stannis will be here giving us the skinny on the good times, the show. She'll be telling you what she's doing now with her life, and she's not sitting at home. She's out very active. As a matter of fact, most of you know I'm here in North Carolina. She's at some benefit here in Charlotte, North Carolina, which is a couple of hours from me because I live here at Fort Bragg and Fayetteville and Spring Lake. But she's active, and so we need to show our icons love and adulation. That's why me and my partner started interviewing our favorite celebrities. They're leaving here in droves, and I want them to know that they haven't been forgotten. They, set the path for the people who are, actresses and actors and musicians now. Okay, because it was more difficult when they were actually when they first got started. So this means a lot to me. This was a big part of my childhood, and that's why it started affecting me. I started thinking I must be getting old. All of my favorite icons, you see pictures of them and you don't realize they're aging, and then some are passing away. So I'm like, I want to show the ones that I can, particularly the ones who were a big part of my childhood. And Bernadette Stannis, otherwise or AKA known as Thelma of Good Times, I love that show, iconic show. It meant so much to African American families. And yes, I know it wasn't what James, I say James, what John Amos and Esther Rowe wanted, initially, but at least it kicked open the door and, made way for other people. Okay. So that means a lot. This show was groundbreaking. If you look at the title, that's why I have groundbreaking in the title, because it was. Okay. Just look around. Go Google if you have Antenna TV, Me TV, or go Google the shows from the 60s and 70s. You didn't see a lot of us. So this was groundbreaking. Okay. And again, I have even more respect for Esther Roll and John Amos because I did not know they were butting heads with Norman Lear. And you guys have to realize Norman Lear was as big as it gets. So most people just came in, kept their mouth shut because he was running the show. He had so many successful shows. Okay, thank you, Patricia. He had so many successful shows in the 70s. So people would just come in, whatever he said, they would just do it. So I applaud them for their efforts. They were like, no, I don't want it to go like that. Yes, he was in Coming to America. Exactly, Chef. Right, Lucinda? They weren't with it. They were like, no, you just have this silly sitcom, and this isn't what it's supposed to be. But they were thinking, well, you're getting a halfway decent salary, just go along and get along. But they wouldn't. They did not, and I admire them even more now. Right, Sugar Dad Norman Lear, particularly at that time, he was as big, as it gets. At that time, he was running everything. And you didn't go in there saying, no, this isn't how I want. That was Norman Lear. You just went in there, read your script, and you went home, and that was it. So again, I have, even more love and adulations that I would like to shower on Esther Roll and John Amos. And John Amos is still alive. He's really old, but he's still alive. So make sure you're here next Sunday, 4:00 p.m. We're going to be here. We're working diligently behind the scenes, trying to get the interview so it's just right. We don't want any technical mishaps. We want everything to be perfect. Lions Pride, Joyce, Lola, those of you who won, you know the routine. When I end the live, all you need to do is go in the comment section and tell me, what you thought about the live. Did you enjoy it? What would you like for me to do in the future? Tell me, like Sugar Daddy wants me to do the East St. Louis riots, and I'm going to do that, but I need to speak with him first because I didn't know. Sugar Daddy, just check your email. Just in case some people that may want to participate, I can have them come into the studio and tell about some of their descendants' experiences during that riot. Okay. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you so much. Thank everyone who came out. I enjoyed it. Again, when I end this live, leave me comments. I respond to all comments. Tell me what you want me to do. Tell me what you want me to talk about. I'm here for you. I'm not going to come here and talk about things I just have an interest in. I also need to know what you want. Thank you so much, Janice. So, each of you, please enjoy yourselves this week. Stay safe. And I'm looking for all of you to come back here next Sunday at 4 o'clock p.m. because it's going to be on fire. Okay? Thank you again for spending your very valuable time with the Rollers Reviews YouTube channel. If you haven't already, please sub up my partner, Chef Fine is Wine. I think most of you have, but if you haven't, please go ahead and sub to his channel. He has some excellent content over there. Lion's Pride, also, you can drop your link. She has excellent info. Lucinda Baxter, drop your link. She has excellent info as well. So we have a lot of excellent content creators coming over here to participate in the live with us. So, folks, let's enjoy everyone. Okay. Thank you so much, Lucinda. So, again, Chef and I are still working to get the interview together, but you better believe you need to be here next Sunday. Okay. It's going to be fire. I'm just telling you now. Okay. All right. So, enjoy your week, and I'll see you next Sunday, 4 o'clock p.m. promptly.